Let's face it, life isn't easy. If you're stuck in a bad relationship, betrayed or afraid of tomorrow, financially insecure, or desperate for a breakthrough, you've come to the right place. Dr. Carmen Harra is a renowned psychologist, intuitive, relationship expert, and best-selling author, and she's here to give you the miracle guidance you need. Her new call-in show, Miracle Guidance for Everyday Life, offers profound wisdom, practical advice, daily exercises, and empowering predictions, all for you. Dr. Harra's show aims to eliminate everyday problems, big and small, with topics like healing your relationships, reclaiming your power, achieving better health, dealing with loss, and so much more. Regain the joy, stability, and fulfillment you deserve to feel. Tune in to Miracle Guidance for Everyday Life with host Dr. Carmen Harra, live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, and find the answers you've been looking for.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Miracle Guidance for Everyday Life. I'm your host, Dr. Carmen Harra, live every Tuesday evening, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on OMTimes Radio. Very, very happy to be with you tonight because I choose a topic that I think everybody will resonate. How to heal after a traumatic experience. Look what's happening in the world. You know, what's happening in the world will generate so much trauma. Not only for those people there, and primarily for them, but for everybody watching. And going through a trauma is like similar with breaking a mirror. You can put back all the pieces that broke, but the way you will see through the mirror is forever going to be altered. So painful experiences affect us in the same way. You can put yourself together after a trauma, but you will never be quite the same person. Let's say maybe you went through a separation, maybe you lost your home, maybe you suffer a loss, or maybe you happen to be in Ukraine. Maybe you just watch television and you try to stay calm and to believe that war is not going to happen wherever you are. But if you kind of struggle to rediscover the meaning of life, you're on the right show. Because we all have been through ordeals. The only thing that helps us going is the resilience. The resilience keeps us going. So what's essential is to take the right action and to rebuild that power within yourself. And this is a call-in show, and if you feel down right now, if you feel the effect of a trauma, feel free to call in 202-570-7057. And Christopher, my amazing producer, will take your calls and will connect you with me. When we are born, we're born so pure, so innocent, so unhurt. It breaks my heart to see all those kids being killed because they're so pure and so innocent. When you are little, you know no limits. You believe that anything is possible. You have dreams. Dreams to become a president, dreams to be a famous actress, beautiful dreams, living in a mansion. And we are capable of anything because we can become anything in a dream. This is why we hear those statements that kids make when they're young. Oh, I want to fly outer space. When I grow older, I want to be successful. And as we grow older and get hit with the reality of life, then we pass through some tough lessons. And our hope start to dwindle. I'll feel the possibility by narrowing everything. We realize that no, life is not as easy as we thought it was, and maybe we can't achieve everything we want when we were kids. Life hits us with trauma after trauma, to the point that we look back at how we used to think as a child and we laugh of how gullible and naive we were. And we pass through the journey in this way, getting knocked out, getting back up, and getting knocked down again. But every time something painful happens to us, it chips away at our spirit and our power. And if a lot of bad things happen to us at once, we can start to lose all hope and feel hopeless. But my show is about rebuilding energy, rebuilding the strength, putting back, as I said, the belief, the infinite possibilities, the belief that we can overcome, we can conquer adversities. Because we all go through some form of trauma sooner or later, and this is almost like impossible to avoid. And a trauma is referred to us like something that is deeply distressing and a deeply disturbing experience. And we are living collectively right now the trauma of this war. And trauma can come in many ways, as a form of an assault, as an accident, as a breakup, as a divorce, as a death, as a loss, as a financial crash, as a natural disaster, as a lawsuit, as a health crisis, and as war. As war that nobody thought about this war. Because none of us in our wildest imagination thought that we're gonna go and relive the experience of the First World War, the Second World War. And what's so fascinating is that if you take the numbers of the First World War, the numbers when it started, the numbers, the days and numbers when the Second World War started, and the day when this war with the Russians started, it comes to the same number. So you take all the number of the date and reduce those numbers to a single digit, and the First World War happened under the energy of 5. The Second World War happens under the energy of 5, and the war in Ukraine happens under the energy of 5. So you take February 24, 2022, you add all the numbers together, it equals a 5. Same kind true with the First World War, the Second World War. And you're going to ask me what this has to do with anything. Well, 5, in the ancient teaching of Kabbalah and the concept of numerology, is the 5th dimension, symbolizes death, symbolizes war, symbolizes the tragedy that we experience. Is there a coincidence that these 3 events happen under the same vibration, under the same energy? More so. This happened 77 years later after the Second World War, where in the Bible, 77 is mentioned 77 times, because 77 is the number of prophecies in the Bible, and I find such an association between 2 times the number of God and the difference in time between the Second World War and this war. So I guess this war is way more than we analyze right now, is way bigger than we think. It may not only be about Ukraine and has a way deeper ramification. I'm not saying that to scare you or to make you feel even worried, just to dig a little bit deeper in why is this happening. Why are we experiencing the same thing over and over and over again? Why do we experience the problems with the economy exactly like we did during the First World War? During the First World War, we were hit with a pandemic, and we were hit with a crash in the economy. Think of almost the same time. We think of 1918. We had the pandemic around 2018, and we had the economic crash in 2029. Same thing comes true right now. We have the war, we have the pandemic, and the economic crash that will happen from now on to 2029. What an amazing synchronicity. What an incredible synchronicity. But coming back to the trauma, the biggest problem is not the painful experience in itself, but the imprints that remain after trauma. Because if a trauma is not healed, we will spend the rest of our lives either manifesting or rejecting those traumas. Traumas can be buried deep into our subconscious in the reactive side of the brain and stay there dormant, almost like undetectable until one single event causes them to resurface. I think in the consciousness of the Russian people, the Second World War, the trauma stayed buried. Have you ever thought why this war didn't happen in America or in Africa or in Asia or in Australia? Why still still Europe, still the same players, still Russia, the same people. They buried the trauma of the Second World War, and it took a second to resurface, a second of 77 years. Now, if the traumas are not resolved, they grow more intense in time because they create an imprint. Everything we've been through creates an imprint that it transfers. It's transferred from generation to generation, but very few people lived the Second World War. They probably had to be around 100 years old. My father was in Russia during the Second World War. He was in his 20s. And he had a horse that saved him, so he came from Russia to the northern part of Romania where his family lived. And it took him days and days to go. Thank God he had that horse, otherwise he would have probably died. And he was a 20-year-old man, like the young soldiers, now they're all sacrificed, and so many of them will actually die. And I always thought of my father, who was wounded during the Second World War in Russia, and how he made it back home as such a young man. And he had that trauma, that experience. He was actually deaf. He couldn't hear with one of his ears because of a bomb. And of course, he was traumatized for the rest of his life. And I'm thinking of all the people that go through this right now. And I'm thinking how that kind of an experience is implemented and transferred through generations to come. Why do I keep on having to suffer through the same experiences? That's a question, no? Because the effects of trauma were never resolved. Whatever happened to us has never been fully healed. Even though very few people are still alive who experienced that war. Very few who are adults can, come and speak about this, what they've seen and the way it happened then. But coming back to the complexity of the concept of trauma, I can give you examples of all kinds of patients of mine and clients of mine who battled to clear away their traumas. And you know what? When I went through all of this, I said, actually, I am your best example because I lived an incredible traumatic event in my 20s. And I'm going to give you my example of trauma. I was a famous singer, though I was only 20 years old. And I often hold concerts. And one evening, I had a performance in the capital of Romania. And I happened to be in one of the best hotels. And my parents lived in the countryside, many hours away in the northern part of Romania. And our house was kind of far away from the city. And it was in the evening, and I had a very strange feeling in my mind. I always had my premonitory feelings and dreams, and I had a vision that something's going to happen. I didn't know exactly. For a moment, I had a feeling that the building I was in is going to collapse. So I said to myself, okay, let me get out of this room. I felt I couldn't breathe. I felt I had some kind of an anxiety attack. And the feeling was so intense that I get out of the door without even taking my shoes. And when I got out of the building collapsed. And I saw buildings collapsing in front of my eyes. I saw thousands of people died. It was a very big earthquake in Bucharest, Romania in 1977, 7.6 on the Richter scale. And as I was running in the streets, I kept on seeing building crumbling. I couldn't breathe because there was so much debris and so much dust. Men, kids dying, shocked. Some in the street, a lot of people die in those buildings. But I wanted to be alive, and I wanted to get somehow back home to my parents. My parents, because by that time we had no cellular, no Uber, no none of this. But the world today, they had no idea. They were absolutely convinced that I was dead. So I finally, after many hours of walking, I got in a train station, went back home. It took me 10 hours. And that train station, I was looking at my feet were swollen, bleeding. I was covered in dirt. I was 20 years old. I will never forget that. And I end up home, I think another day it took me home to get home. And my parents, they were so happy. They were so shocked that they were still alive. But ever since that, 40-something years later, I still suffer that trauma. I will never forget that episode. It's still buried in my mind, but it's still there. Anytime I go in an elevator, I became claustrophobic. I remember the people when I was getting out of the building, there were people in an elevator who didn't understand why I was running out. And the people in the elevator, of course, died. But the mental imprints are still in my head many years later. The fear, the terror of such an event. I will never completely try. I tried to heal, but I was never able to completely heal. But in spite of that, I live a normal life, I got married, I had kids, so I continue my careers. But, it's very, very hard to overcome something like this. And probably overcome an event like this 100% is not even possible. But I wanted to share it with me. I generally don't talk about my own experiences, that talking about the trauma of this war, the trauma that anyone can go through life. And I want you to share your own experiences of trauma with me. If you want, by calling in 202-570-7057. I know I have some callers. I'm going to go to I know I have Cornelia. I'm going to go to Patty. I'm going to go to Kim. And you guys hold on the line. I'll take a short break and I'll be with you in a moment.
The best of the holistic, spiritual, and conscious world. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
OMTimes magazine is one of the leading online content providers of positivity, wellness, and personal empowerment. A philanthropic organisation, their net proceeds are funneled to support worldwide charity initiatives via Humanity Healing International. Through their commitment to creating community and providing conscious content, they aspire to uplift humanity on a global scale. Connect at omtimes.com. OMTimes, creating a more conscious lifestyle.
My name is Victor Furman. Some call me The Voice. I've always been fascinated with human nature, spirituality, science, and the crossroads at which they meet. Join me Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern on OMTimes Radio, and we'll explore these topics and so much more on Destination Unlimited.
COVID-19, brought to you by CDC and the Ad Council.
If you're feeling increasingly lonely right now, you're not alone. It's totally normal. Even though we may not be able to get together in person, connecting virtually with friends and family still gives you a chance to interact with people and may help raise your spirits. Join a virtual book club, set up group text chats, or online video coffee breaks with coworkers.
Find more self-care and coping tips at coping-19.org.
And I'm back. And for everybody listening, and I'm going to go to Cornelia in a second. Guys, I want you to know that what always made me feel stronger was using affirmations. Because affirmation, try to rewire the brain to create a new imprint. So I'm going to give you some of my affirmation. And one is, my pain is part of my past. It does not span into my future. My experiences have taught me necessary lessons. Through this hard time, I have learned and evolved. I have the power to turn any problems into a victory. My path is clear. I know exactly what I must do. So using these affirmations are very important, very powerful. I am sustained by people who support me through anything. My suffering has been heard. I will be rewarded with joy. I will make it out of this storm stronger and better. Determination and ambition surge through me. An unexpected blessing awaits me. So use those words in your own way. Put them on the wall, frame them, and say them every single day to break through tragedies, through trauma, through pain, through suffering. Okay. But because I know that trauma is very hard to erase, but we always have the strength to heal and always have the strength to progress. And I'm going to go to Cornelia. Hi, Cornelia.
Hello,
Cornelia,
good evening, Carmen. Always so good to hear you.
How are you,
I
my
can.
dear?
You can hear me?
I can hear you.
I'm
Can
always
you hear
happy.
me?
And yes, I do. I do hear you. I hope you hear me too.
Good. Good. Yeah, I do. I really do. So tell
Yes,
me,
I'm always.
how are you? How are you, my dear Cornelia?
I'm always very happy to talk to you, and I thank you so much because you took my call. Carmen, I have to tell you that I'm really traumatized with jobs. I swear to God, maybe it sounds funny, but every job, what I find, and I pretty much always learn that job, and I'm good in what I'm doing, and but always I have to encounter a lady or somebody who's just being mean. And, you know, I'm very sensitive. I'm truly very sensitive, and I'm traumatized.
Right, yeah.
I keep quitting my job because of mean people.
Right, yeah.
And right now, I'm again in this situation. When I find a job in November, probably, you remember we talked that time, and I have an amazing owner. Like, this guy was very nice to me when he hired me. Everything was going well.
Right.
But I'm again at the same low point like with every job of mine. And this lady, because I really cannot suffer people who are gossiping and stuff like that, because if we need to talk, we have so many things to talk about. If you are a little bit knowledgeable or you read a book or two, you have always a subject. You don't need to gossip. And I cannot support gossiping and stuff like that. And I think this lady already make a big head to my owner about me, or I don't even know what to think, Carmen, because it's just always, you see, right now my owner changed vis-a-vis to me. He's behaving in another way than when he hired me. And I'm 100% sure.
What do you mean he changed? In which way?
Because
was this change for worse? For
like he was very, very friendly and very loving, and because it's a little pierogi maker factory. We are 7-6 people over there, and he was really, really a nice somebody. And right now he's behaving very cold, very distant. And I know for sure because
when people are influenced, it's always a change in their behavior, in change their attitude. Yes. So I think that the reason of his
and right now I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm on the edge. I'm on the edge to quitting, Carmen, because if I cannot hold on on situation when people looks in a certain way to me, and I know I didn't do a mistake, or I didn't do nothing wrong, and I have to from this situation every day just because a lady being envious, and because she's envious, she's being mean.
Right.
Like, this is really, I cannot.
Right.
What do you think? Yeah. What is your opinion, Carmen?
Well, what I want you to do is not to feed into this negativity, not to allow yourself to be emotionally affected.
Hey, and I'm not, and I'm having my affirmations and prayers, and I'm fasting, and I'm truly behaving in a very nice way every time, all over, wherever I go. And it's just because I cannot stay in this situation.
This too shall pass, in other words, this is an episode, this is a moment. If you don't give in, you'll be able to cope with this, and things will turn around again in your favor. That's how I anticipate this is going to work out. You understand? Yeah.
That's how you feel? Can you please, Carmen, to tell me something more about my owner, how you see him related to me, or, yes, in the future, of course.
But I think that the owner will become nice again. It's interesting. This woman, there's a woman there that's causing all this. That's how should I say, trying to sabotage you. That's the feeling I have. More or less consciously. People hurt people.
Exactly.
Just for
what
no
she's
reason,
doing.
you know?
She has a tactic.
Yeah.
May I tell you? She has a tactic to drive me crazy. She's saying something, and in 2 minutes, I said, Elizabeth, you said this. Me? No, I didn't say something like that.
That's
and
right.
at that moment, Carmen, I want to climb the wall.
Yeah, no. So you respond emotionally. You know, the wisdom is don't respond. You already know what she's going to do. So the wisdom is you really can anticipate. Her behavior becomes predictable. So this shouldn't surprise you. Okay, it might surprise you once, 2, 3 times, but at 7th time, it should never surprise you anymore. So try to outsmart her. Because what she tries to do is to drive you to a point in which you're either going to leave, either she will influence that people to let you go. And none of this has necessarily to happen. On the contrary, the one who's going to leave is going to be her. So try to see it that way.
That's how you think?
Oh, absolutely. I'm convinced that that's what's going to happen. Because all these shenanigans that she's...
And you know, she's smiling. She's being so nice.
Yeah, she's so fake, of course.
She's such fake.
She's fake. She's fake.
She's such a fake, and she wants to put me in the ugly light, you know?
Right. So people who do stuff like that, they trap into their own bad actions. So they cause their own suffering. They cause their own issues. So for some reason, I'm not concerned. I know this will be worked out in your favor, and the wisdom is outsmart.
Because right now, before I
don't respond, don't give in.
Carmen, I was very, and I am very decided to leave this job. I put some resumes already, and I'm with one foot out from this company, and I'm really like confused a little bit right now.
Well, if you want to get out and find another job, you know what's going to happen? This will follow you. The imprint of what's happening might happen again in the next job. You already say, well, I'm seeing this over and over happening to me. The wisdom is you're not quitting. You're fighting this back till you turn the wheel around in your favor. And after that, you can move to a different job. But you reverse the process here and you stand up for yourself. You use your resilience, your strength.
I just hope that the wheel will turn.
It's a
because I don't do nothing wrong.
So your response to the situation should be actually different than the way you respond. This is what is called wisdom. In a circumstance like this, to reverse a process, to turn it around so that this is not going to happen again, you know? Right.
I swear to God, I'm traumatized because I have the impression that that's what she wants, to fire me or to see me being fired.
Is obvious. The intention is obvious, but you're not going to allow it to happen. That's the whole thing, and that's the wisdom. And you're not letting this happen to you. Mm-hmm.
Okay, but even if I try, and you see that my owner is gonna understand that I'm not doing nothing wrong, or I'm not I don't even know how to say it. Like,
no, I know what you mean.
I'm just hoping that he's. I'm sorry, Carmen.
Hello? I think I lost you for a second. What did you say? Can you repeat?
Yes, please tell me how my owner sees this situation. Do he believes her, or
no,
he's
just
open-eyed
and it's a temporary influence that will go away. He actually likes your work. He actually sympathizes with you. People can be temporary influence, and that influence can go away. I don't think he's permanently influenced. It's something for the moment that can shift 180 degrees, and he can be turning the wheel around in your favor. That's why I'm saying stay there. Don't respond to that negativity with fear. Don't respond with the wrong action. Prove her that she couldn't do this to you. Show her your strength. And stay where you are. That if later
Carmen,
on
and
you want to move...
if I stay, you see that the situation can be okay?
Yeah,
like
can be reversed
turn in my favor?
In your favor. Absolutely, yeah. I'm very confident, and I'm glad that you called.
Thank you so much, Carmen.
Yeah.
God bless you.
You too, my dear Cornelia. So let me know. Call me.
And I'm still waiting you for a guyash.
Okay. All right, my beautiful. I love you, my Cornelia.
I love you, Carmen. Kiss you and have a beautiful evening. Thank you so much.
You too, my love. I'm going to go to Patty, my dear Patty from Queens. Hi, my lovely Patty.
Hello, Carmen. How are you? I hope you're doing well.
Oh, you're so sweet. How are you, my love?
I'm okay. I heard the reason I'm calling, I heard some very unsettling news, and I would like to have your perspective on it.
Sure, absolutely.
Okay. I've been, as you know, that I have received a vaccine medical exemption back in October.
I remember. Yes.
I'm still there. As long as I get tested every week, I'm still there. I just saw something online that the White House is cutting back on the vaccine and the COVID testing for people who are uninsured. And the problem is that in my neighborhood there is free mobile. I'm in New York City, and Queens, so there's a lot of free mobile test sites. Zero cost, no cost if you have insurance, and zero cost if okay. So now the situation is that when New York City got the vaccine mandate in September, my insurance stopped paying for the weekly testing. My insurance will no longer pay for weekly testing. I have to pay it out of my own pocket. But the government has this CARES Act that's what pays for these COVID testing. Now, since if the government's Congress, they want to put money in. White House wants the money to be put in for the COVID testing because there's actually an upsurge here in New York, the state of New York. There's more here, especially in New York City. There's like 3 or 4 times as much as yesterday. So, because they're concerned about the new variant that's in England. So now, my concern is that if I don't get weekly testing, I could be put on unpaid leave. Do you see the Congress working this out, that they will continue with these, will allow money to be, funding for
They will. But I also feel like this COVID is kind of going away in spite of whatever other people are saying. I feel this nightmare is also coming to an end. We cannot deal with too many nightmares in the same time. And I feel like this is not becoming a priority. It's not a priority anymore. And I absolutely believe that you're going to be fine.
I went to my doctor today. He thinks that these COVID vaccine is more political than science. Because it's ridiculous here in New York City that within the 5 boroughs in New York City, now you don't have to show a vaccine passport to go in a restaurant, but you can't work in that restaurant. And our reporter said to the mayor last week, he says, if you're going to remove the passport, why don't you just remove the mandated vaccine for city workers? You know what he said? He says, I can't. That's the law. They're saying that because you agree to get the vaccine in order to get the job. And in my case, I did not agree to get the vaccine to get the job because I got my job 24 years ago. I just celebrated my 24th anniversary last week. 24 years in my job. And I they never told me to get a vaccine, the COVID vaccine in 1998. It didn't exist at that time.
Of course,
But do you see the vaccine mandate going away for New York City?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
When do you think it might be going away?
With all this craziness happening in the way, this becomes something that is not going to be a problem anymore. So it's almost like this entire story is dying out, in my opinion.
Okay,
because
that's good to know.
The priority of war is taking over in a big way. As you can see very well, everybody talks only about the war. Everyone in the media, and because this is such a dangerous situation for all of us. It's extremely dangerous. It feels like our life is in the hands of a crazy man, you know.
Yeah.
And
somebody, a psychic on the air on YouTube, said that he feels that there is going to be some type of explosion here in New York City. Do you see something like that? Because
if we go to war, they're not going to necessarily attack New York City. They will attack the military base. They will go and attack places where we have military bases. You know, that's what they're going to do near Washington. There's one in Jacksonville. There's different ones all over the country. So, and the danger of the big city is always the danger of a big city. But we can only pray that, we have to pray that that's not going to happen, because it's going to be a big catastrophe. Because you know, the nuclear weapons are a killer. The whole population might die from this. So this is the end of us. This is the end of the civilization. So, so this is why everybody is only talking about this, and everybody is so scared about this. The danger is like, wow, beyond our imagination. So,
just a madman.
Most likely, if the Russian will associate with the Chinese, then God help us at that point if that happens. You know. So that is a very bad scenario. I don't think people realize what a dangerous world we are living in right now, in this very moment.
Look at what happened here in New York City. There was some guy that was like killing homeless people.
I heard about that, yeah. Well, that's a crazy person, but a crazy person who has the atomic bomb in his hands, he can really blow this world away completely, so we're all gone. So is that possible? You know, unfortunately it is. And we should do something about it.
My mother's going to turn 90 in August, and she was born and raised in Italy. And she, you know, she lived through World War II. She was almost shot by a German soldier in 1943. Right? So it's like she lived through a war. I don't want her to see another war.
Nobody wants another war. And not this war. Not this war. This is not the first one, not the second one. This is the most dangerous war. In a war we cannot afford to experience, none of us. Because we will all die, you know, so this is not a war. But somebody who's crazy, you know, can. The only hope that we have is to press the atomic bomb. It takes 3 people, not only one. And one is crazy, but the other 2 might be still normal. So then there's the hope that I personally have, you know, that this is not going to happen. Because you have to think of us, our kids, you know, our grandkids. We cannot afford something like this, but it is extremely dangerous right now.
We all could pray. That's all we can do. We can leave it in God's hands.
That's all we can pray. This is man-made. You know, has nothing to do with God, but we can certainly ask God for guidance, you know, and help and, you know, save us. We need to be saved, you know, from the devil. It feels this way. So let's be strong. So what you're telling me right now with the COVID and all of this, it's something that they're not going to even have time to pay attention to.
Do you see me still at my job by the end of this year, or will I leave on my own?
I see you at your job. I still see you at your job.
Do you see me leaving now? You know, me on my own? No.
I don't see you leaving now. No. And I don't think you should. In the future is a different story, but for now, stay where you are, you know.
I work from home, and it's a good thing because I'm taking care of my mom. I'm 90 years old in August.
Oh, God bless her. God bless her.
Yeah.
She must have been really young because the Second World War ended up 77 years ago. So your mom probably was just a teenager when the war happened.
Yeah, she was 10 years old, she told me, 1943. She was born 1932.
Oh, my God, yeah. You can imagine.
She remembers.
She remembers. At that age, you do remember the atrocities, yeah.
Yep.
But this is way worse than that because of the weapons that we have.
Yeah, yeah, because we didn't have those weapons.
We need to pray, all of us. All of us collectively, we need to pray. I'm going to start a series of prayers on my radio show so that everybody start praying that we avoid this from happening.
You go on Facebook, you know. Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I'm going to go on Facebook. Yeah, I'm going to do that on all my social media. Mm-hmm.
That's a beautiful thing. You should do that. It's very beautiful.
Yeah, we put all of us the energy together and start praying together. You know, we can, you know, reverse the course of action and avoid this from happening. Enough suffering, enough killing.
I do believe in the power of prayer because when we had the hurricanes a couple of years ago, this was before the pandemic happened.
Right.
The summer before the pandemic started, somebody that I listened to on in the internet said to all of us to please pray for that hurricane because it was going to hit right at Palm Beach. And I don't know if you remember, it was going directly.
I remember because I'm in Florida. Absolutely, I remember.
Right, and it turned up.
Right.
It went away from Palm Beach. Like all of a sudden, going towards it, it decided to change its mind and go north.
Same thing happened to me here in North Miami. We passed by, didn't hit us, you know, the way it could have. And we were safe. Yeah, incredible. The power of prayers is everything.
Yes, I do believe that.
That can help us right now.
Thank you so much. My birthday's coming up.
Patty.
Yeah, my birthday's coming up April 27th. So I don't want to. I still want to be employed by my birthday.
Happy birthday! You will be employed. My birthday is March 25th, so we just close in. The birthdays are coming for you, me, and
my mother
you
became
and
a
you.
United States citizen on your birthday.
Really?
In 2000, yes. Yes, she became a United States citizen, and my youngest brother, my youngest brother, the day that she became a U.S. citizen, my brother got married that day, same day.
Oh my God!
The first time.
Synchronicity. So you do have a connection with me, my love.
Right, and guess what?
I love you, Patty.
My mother had pancreatic cancer the year before, and nobody thought she was going to live. And because she had...
And look at her.
Yeah.
Incredible. Wow, that's incredible, because that's very hard to beat.
Yeah, but they caught it in time. They took the tumor out, and the cancer was in the tumor. And it was it didn't spread anything. Once they got the tumor out, she was fine.
Mm-hmm. Right, perfect.
All right, thank you so much. God bless you.
Okay, my Patty, I love you,
Stay
sweetie.
well.
Thank you for calling me, and you too, my love. Bye, my dear. And I'm going to take a short break, but then, listen, Marilyn from Singapore, my beautiful Marilyn, and Julia, beautiful Julia from Florida. You guys hold on the line. I'll be with you in 1 second. Okay, hold on the line.
The best of holistic, spiritual, and conscious world. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Ascending Hearts is no ordinary dating site, but a spiritual dating site with a purpose, to link you with your soulmate. We engineer the serendipity so you can trust that you will attune with someone that has the same matching vibration as you. Ascending Hearts, the conscious dating site for the spiritually aware. Try Ascending Hearts for free. AscendingHearts.com.
Hello, I'm Sandy Sedgbeer, host of OMTimes Magazine's flagship radio show, What is Going On? My passion is sifting through information, research, and innovations from new thought teachers, speakers, and researchers, pushing back the boundaries of what we know about life, energy, metaphysics, and the universe. I love shifting perceptions about who we are, why we're here, and how quickly impossible becomes normal when we open our minds, expand our awareness, and accept that the only limits that exist are those we place upon ourselves. So if you're the kind of forward-thinking, eager investigator of what lies beyond the current reality that most perceive, why not make a date to come play with me in the field of possibilities at 4 p.m. Pacific Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time every Thursday, and together we can discover what's really going on.
If I could be you.
And you could be me.
For just 1 hour.
If you could find a way
to get inside
each other's mind.
Walk a mile in my shoes.
Walk a mile in my shoes.
Walk a mile in my shoes.
We've all felt left out. And for some, that feeling lasts more than a moment. We can change that. Learn how at belongingbeginswithus.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Walk a mile in my shoes.
And I'm back with you tonight. So excited to be with you. I'm going to talk to Marilyn from Singapore. Hi, my beautiful Marilyn.
Hello. Carmen. Thank you for the...
Hi, beautiful.
Hello.
How are you, my love?
I'm good. I'm doing well.
Good.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Did you decide on this? Did you decide on the supplements I gave you?
Yes, I already bought 2. So for this bromelain, the
Perfect.
first one, and then
Okay.
and you're right. Yeah, the day you told me about it started from the hands, right? So I talked to my son because after we talked, and then at that night time, and then my daughter only called me that he's been twisting of pain like everywhere on his body. And he could not walk. So I dig deeper into him, and then I asked him did he really feel pain on his hand, and then he said yes. So you're right.
Yeah. So thank God for that. Thank God for that. So anything you want to ask me?
Yeah, because I bought this 2 bottles. So you mentioned he can take for 3 months, right? It says twice a day.
Right. Well, you need to take the stuff that is natural for a period of time till it gets into the system. So the consistency of taking it is very significant. So it's important to take for at least 3 months.
Okay, so 1 bottle because it says 2 capsules a day.
Yeah, but then you will see a difference immediately in a matter of 2-3 weeks, 4 weeks. You will see a world of a difference.
Okay. Yeah,
So
because I bought 2 bottles. Yeah. I already received my order because it's in Singapore. There's an Amazon in Singapore, so I received it immediately after I've ordered it.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So I bought 2 bottles. So that means 1 bottle will last him for 3 months. This is 180 capsules, so that is 3 months. So I have another extra bottle. So can I take that myself?
I couldn't hear you. What did you say?
Can I use that myself, the other bottle?
Oh, please. Absolutely. Yeah. This is good for everybody because everything in the body, every pain starts with an inflammatory process. So taking stuff like that there are parts of the world where they take it on a regular basis because this is all a plant. So you're not taking anything artificial or poisonous so you're not taking a pill. You just take something natural. So you can't go wrong, and it's only helping you.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure because I have the same problem like him when I used to be very chubby, but I'm trying to lose weight. That's why I don't feel that pain more enough under my legs. So since I have 2 bottles, I just want to make sure that
please take absolutely.
Okay for me to take it.
It's gonna help you so much. You will see. So let me know how it goes because it's gonna help you.
Yeah, I will be home also in a few days. So I will let him start taking it, and then I will update you.
And please let me know. Send me
Yeah.
text or call me. Any ways of communication is great.
All right.
Okay, my
Thank
love.
you
So
so
I
much.
wish you the best of luck, and I'm so glad that you call, and I'm glad that you're taking this.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Oh, I love you, beautiful Marilyn. I love you. I'm gonna go to Julia in Florida. Hi, my lovely Julia. How are you, my dear?
Hi, Carmen. It's been a long time. I'm doing great. How are you?
Good. So good to hear your voice. So tell me, how are you? How's everything with you?
Well, I became a first-time grandmother. My daughter had a baby in September, so yay!
Yay, this is magic. Oh my God, I'm so excited for you. This is beautiful. This is the best thing, no? The best thing ever. Yeah.
Yes, I just got to see her on a video. They live in Kansas City, Kansas, and that's actually why I'm calling, because I'm wondering if it would be the right choice for me to, if things would work out financially for us to move there to Kansas from Florida.
Yeah, it will be a great idea. Yes. You'll want to move, don't you think so?
Yeah. I just, every so often I, might get into my head and the fears and anxiety get
no fear, no reason for
and
anxiety, no reason whatsoever. No. No. There's no reason to be anxious. You should only be excited about this. This should make you feel happy. Yes.
Good.
I don't know why the anxiety is present. I don't understand it. Why?
Yeah, well, I feel like I'm kind of almost like a habit now, because I feel like I've been in it for so long that I struggle with it, like waking up at 3, every night, waking up, all the just fears and anxieties and, like past mistakes and stuff. It all just starts churning and, know, so I don't know how to get myself out of it and just to release all that stuff and stop, rehashing mistakes, because, we can't go back and fix it. So
Right. No, but you can. It's like you exercise your mind. You create like a new imprint in the brain, and you sort of train your mind into what matters to you most right now and what would be the best move, and be in alignment with your decision, and just stop the negative emotions. Let them get out. Release them in a healthy way. The fear, the anxiety associated with this, and just celebrate the move in itself. See that this is big for you and is rewarding. It's exactly everything you ever wanted.
Oh. Do you get a sense of like when it would come together? When would be like if there's a best time? I think it's
relatively quickly. I have a feeling that this can happen anytime in the next 2 months, 8 months. This period of time, I don't think you're going to put it on hold. Do you agree with me?
Yeah, I was just, the only reason I was wondering about it is because my mother just moved from Ohio to Florida, and she's here living with me, so she literally just moved here at the end of October.
What about taking her with you?
Yeah, I would probably do that.
And she will be happy. She will be happy to be with you no matter where you are, I see this like in my heart, in my mind, like a very positive move. When you will do it, you will say, well, this is one of the best things I've done.
Oh, good.
Yeah, please.
Okay. I just need a little reassurance, I guess.
I'm empowering you. I'm giving you all I'm validating, your mind. I'm validating your intention, like being the best intention. When you're going to leave it, please call me back and let me know how wonderful this is going to be for you.
Okay, well, thank you so much. I'm glad. Thank you for the validation.
Julia, and I'm congratulating you for the best thing ever, being a grandma. I congratulate you for taking care of your beautiful mom, for all these achievements and this extraordinary things that you are doing, your beautiful emotions. I love you, and God bless all of you. And let me know. Just text me or call, and we'll celebrate. All of us here at OMTime Radio will celebrate your success.
Thank you.
My greatest pleasure, Julia. Thank you for calling. And for everybody, I'm coming to the end of the show, and I hope you enjoy putting back the pieces, because this was the theme of the show. And I promise you I'll be back with you next week, same place on OMTime Radio, same time, Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm looking forward to talk to you again, to express myself in whichever way I can and be there for you. And meanwhile, let's be safe and let's pray for this war to go away. I'm Carmen Harra, and I love you.